Hi. Hi viewers, my dear students and my well wishers. I am live streaming, I am online, and many of my patrons, many of my viewers, and those who like my live streaming or those who like my teaching have requested me how to identify phrase in a sentence and what are the types of phrases in a sentence, and at the same time how prepositions or how many prepositions can be used before gerund. And one who has already joined my class, who has already participated in my class, is being requested to tell his friends or her friends that I am engaged in live streaming and I am going to share my ideas or knowledge about the types of phrases and how the phrases can be used in a sentence. Okay. We may divide or we may just categorize phrases into three types. Three types of phrases. For example, noun phrase. For example, prepositional phrase. And for example, adverbial phrase. Three types of phrases can be used in a sentence. And yes, hi. And many students have commented, you see, that they want to know the types of phrases in a sentence and how the phrases can be used in a sentence. Hello, my dear viewer. Please call your friends, your members of circle, and anybody else to participate in the class because it is going to be a very important class. Clear? For example, first of all, we must clear our concept about phrase. We must clear our ideas about phrase. What is a phrase? Actually, a phrase is a group of words without having a finite verb. A phrase is a group of words without a finite verb or principal verb, but it can be used as the part of the sentence. Clear? Again, I am repeating. A phrase is a group of words. A phrase is a group of words without having any finite verb, without having any principal verb, and which can be used in a sentence. Clear? It is also the part of the sentence, a phrase. So, a phrase can be categorized. A phrase can be divided into three categories. One is noun phrase, the other is prepositional phrase, and the last one is adverbial phrase. Clear? Let us discuss prepositional phrase. Sorry. Let us discuss first noun phrase. I have already made a lesson plan for you because many of you have already requested me to show them with examples how phrases can be used in a sentence. Clear? For example, I am starting from the starting point. That is, I am beginning from the beginning point. For example, I want a cup of black coffee. As for example, you tell your mother, Mom, I want a cup of black coffee. Clear? So, you see that it is a noun phrase. A cup is noun and coffee is also noun. You see, at the beginning there is the noun and at the end there is the noun. A cup of black coffee. So, a cup of black coffee is obviously or certainly a noun phrase. Clear? Why is it phrase? You see that within the group of words, a cup of black coffee, there is no finite verb. There is no principal verb. So it is certainly an example of noun phrase. Another example I am giving you. For example, the sound of the rumbling of clouds, the sound of the rumbling of the clouds was heard at midnight. The sound of the rumbling of the clouds was heard at midnight. You see that the phrase begins with sound. The sound of the rumbling is also verbal noun, it is also noun. Of the clouds is also noun, was heard. Clear? So the sound of the rumbling of the clouds is a noun phrase because it consists of noun. At the beginning there is the noun, at the end there is the noun. Clear? So it is, all these are noun phrases. Another example I am giving. For example, it is a well-known art gallery or art museum. It is a well-known art gallery or art museum. So, well-known is acting as the adjective, but whose adjective? Art gallery or art gallery or art museum. Clear? Art gallery or art museum. What's going on here? Oh, sorry. Here I am sharing my ideas about phrases in English language or English grammar. Actually, phrases are the part and parcel of a sentence. So, you will have to gain the knowledge of phrase, the knowledge of idiom, the knowledge of phrasal verb, etc. you need to study English. So, what am I doing? Am I not deep belief? Okay, whatever may be the fact. What am I doing here? I think you can't understand what I am saying. I am giving you the basic knowledge of phrases. In a nutshell, or in brief, I tell you that a phrase is a group of words without having a finite verb or a principal verb, and which can be used at the part of the sentence. This is called phrase. And phrase has been categorized into three categories: noun phrase, clear, prepositional phrase, and at the same time adverbial phrase. Clear? Those who hath hear, let them hear. Otherwise not. They must have the basic knowledge of English. Clear? Thank you very much. Now, they visited the tea gardens in Darjeeling. They visited the tea gardens in Darjeeling. So, tea gardens is actually noun or noun phrase. That's from 1.1 or 2. Oh. So you need not join, you need not participate. If you are well conversant with all these grammatical topics, I have no problem. You may leave the class. Otherwise not. Clear? For example, he visited all the tea gardens in Darjeeling. So, tea gardens is a noun phrase. And tea gardens in Darjeeling is also a noun phrase. But when you see in Darjeeling, it becomes prepositional phrase. Because in is preposition and Darjeeling is noun. So in Darjeeling, many tea gardens in Darjeeling is actually a noun phrase. Another example. 5 firefighting machines were pressed into action to douse the blaze. To douse the blaze. 5 firefighting machines were pressed into action. Clear? Suppose the fire brigade personnel utilized 5 firefighting machines. You see that firefighting machines which are used to fight against the fire or flames is called firefighting machines. So firefighting machines is a noun phrase. Clear? For example, our area is actually a jute producing area. Jute producing area. Area that produces jute. It is also an example of noun phrase. Clear? Jute producing area. Can't you see the man with a gun in his hand. Can't you see a man with a gun in his hand? You see, the man with a gun in his hand is a noun phrase. It is actually the words or the group of words used in the sentence without having any finite verb. Clear? Hello, my viewers. If this live streaming goes to your benefit, I have the liberty to request all of you to like, comment, if possible share, and if possible subscribe. It is my expectation, nothing else. And don't forget that English is based upon some grammatical rules. And if you are ignorant of those rules, you cannot write independently good English or elegantly. You cannot speak English fluently and correctly. Clear? Now let us come to another point. Just he went to school on time. On time. That is not before time, not after time. Clear? Not before time, not after time. On time, exactly when the school starts. He went to school on time. So, on time is a prepositional phrase. Remember that on time is prepositional phrase. Please come to the club in time to attend the meeting. So, in time is a prepositional phrase, but to attend the meeting is the adverbial phrase. It's a very peculiar thing. To attend, it is infinitive. It is actually infinitive. To plus present form of the verb is equal to infinitive. But remember, when you say to attend the meeting, that is the adverbial phrase, and it is the phrase for purpose. It is the adverbial phrase for purpose. So, there is nothing to worry to learn how many phrases are there in English grammar or language. Clear? As for example, I am giving you another example. He is on the top of the, he has kept the books on the top of the shelf. On the top of the shelf. If you see, it may be called prepositional phrase, on the top, and if you see, it may be called an adverbial phrase. For example, on the top of the shelf, it is an adverbial phrase of place. It is an adverbial phrase of place. Again, I am reminding you, my dear friends, my patrons and all users, that it is a group of words without having any finite verb, and it may be used differently in different categories: prepositional phrase, noun phrase, and adverbial phrase. You see that I am using the same phrase as the prepositional phrase and the adverbial phrase. Remember. Hello, my viewers. I am giving you many more examples. On account of my illness, I could not attend the meeting. On account of is obviously a prepositional phrase. On account of my illness. And if you see the entire phrase, on account of my illness, it becomes an adverbial phrase, adverbial of reason, adverbial phrase of reason, on account of my illness. What is the reason? On account of my illness. So on account of is prepositional phrase, remember. But on account of my illness is an adverbial phrase. Clear? For example, due to our ignorance, we cut down trees indiscriminately. So due to is a prepositional phrase, but due to our ignorance, and what is the cause? Due to our ignorance, it is adverbial phrase. Clear? Another example. For example, we came out after the movie. We came out of the hall after the movie. So after is preposition and movie is noun. So it is obviously prepositional phrase. But logically, it may be called adverbial phrase because it refers to time. It suggests time. Clear? Hello, my dear brother. Can't you understand what I am saying? I hope that I am able to make you understand what phrase is, how the same phrase can be used both as prepositional phrase and adverbial phrase, and what noun phrase is. Clear? Let us come to the point. Instead of taking coffee, I will take a cup of tea. I will take a cup of tea. Instead of, that means in exchange of. So instead of is a prepositional phrase. But instead of a cup of coffee, the total phrase is also a prepositional phrase. Is also a prepositional phrase. In lieu of your books, in lieu of your old edition books, you will have to purchase some new books. In lieu of. It is obviously a prepositional phrase. It is nicely used when we say in lieu of the old edition books, you will have to purchase some new books. In lieu of, it is obviously a prepositional phrase. Another example. Due to, owing to, both are prepositional phrase. For example, due to my sickness or due to my fever, I was absent from my class. So due to is a prepositional phrase and the entire phrase is due to my illness or due to my fever. Clear? However, we may use noun phrase, prepositional phrase, adverb phrase. Another example I am giving. I was going to forget. For example, I left the place, I left my boarding house, bag and baggage. Bag and baggage means with all your belongings. With all your belongings. So, bag and baggage is an adverbial phrase because it suggests your condition. Your condition is being suggested by bag and baggage. Thanking all of you. Good night. Stay safe, stay mellow. And if possible, you may like, comment, share, and subscribe too, so that I may be encouraged and enthused and inspired to give you more grammatical items to enlighten you. Thanking all of you. Good night.